Hi there, welcome back to Triplicate, and in this video we are going to move on with our mood light. Here it is, and yep, it's getting dusty, so we need to move on with it, and I'm getting to the point where I want to finish it off in some way, shape or form, and then think whether I want to change it, upgrade it, make something completely different, but it's starting to drag on a bit. So this video I plan on cracking on and getting a big bunch of the software done, basically the software finished, and since watching me write software doesn't make for much of a video, I guess I'll just bring you back when I have something working that I can show you, and it'll be hopefully a short little video. So let's get going. Okay, last time we actually decided what we want. Well, we finalised our inputs from sound, light and movement, and we decided what we wanted them all to do on our current effects, and we got the random one working to our satisfaction. So you can see it's going quite fast because I'm talking, and if I go silent, it slows down. And also if I move around, it affects the way it transitions between two colours, and went through all that in the last video. We also came up with a debugging application which goes via a extra USB lead to an FDDI board in there, and you can see it's giving me the movement, and the first one, the light, and the second one, there you go, and the sound in the third. Drops back if I stop talking, and we can control these. Here we go, so we can turn that up to high and control the sound level, put that to low, and again control the sound level. Happy with that. So now let us go on to the rainbow, and I really want to crack on and get the software pretty much finished this video. So it's going to be me coding and then bringing you back for a brief update. So okay, so here's my rainbow, and the sound controls the speed it goes through the rainbow, so you can see it's going quite fast through the colours, and there are some of them flicking occasionally, and I don't know why that is. I might have a look at that at some point. So if I go silent, it'll go quite slowly through the colours. Okay, and the light level controls the amount of rainbow you get. So we're getting about like 1.5 colours at that, and if I stick my thumb over the light sensor, we pretty much get one colour. And if I grab my head torch, which is running out of battery, and put that on, you can see, shine it straight in, you can see we get most of the rainbow at once. So happy with that. That is working reasonably well. So we will move on with our waterfall. Okay, so let's have a look at our waterfall. So here we say movement and light decreases the time it spends in the pool. Okay, so here we have a light shining in the light sensor, and the PIR sensor has tape over it to stop it triggering. And I'm now going to run the old monitor and I'm going to hit run. Ignore that extraneous line. Okay, so into the pool, and we can see here the light is, well, pretty near maximum. It's got a torch shining in it, so that should be, yep, and that restarts, and that should be quite quick. I'll just let it run round again. And you see here's the time in seconds from when the software started, just for debugging. Into the pool again at 63. And restart again at 73, so it cycles around pretty quickly. So if I take the torch away, right, it'll work. Okay, so I stick some black insulating tape over the light sensor. So now we have no light and again no PIR, and we should get a long pool time now. Okay, yep, 100 and nearly 50 seconds, not far off, 3/4 of a minute or so, shall we call that. And I'll maybe have another one. There you go, and that's a minute and 14 seconds. However, okay, we're in the pool. If I take the tape off the motion sensor, will it work? Come on. There we go. And it's re-triggered off the motion. And if we go back into the pool, it should re-trigger, or just off me moving about. Right, we're into the pool, and I'm not going to try not to. There we go, and it's re-triggered my motion after 10 seconds or so. So that is working as we specified. Again, who knows whether it's any good in practice, and I'm sort of going around in circles with this, and I think I'm overthinking. It's just something to provide pretty lights in the background, really. So that is going to be the waterfall effect for now. So shall we now go on and look at the beach effect? Oh, okay, so here's our beach, as in life say. Here we're going to have the light level. Here it says increase sunlight, but it's actually going to increase the clouds, and the sound is going to increase the waves. And I am going to use my force the input ones rather than trying to simulate a constant high sound. So we're going to look at the waves at the bottom. So we've got no sound, and these are our waves round the bottom. You see we've got some quite slow and gentle waves. So let's increase our sound to maximum. And we've got some big breakers rolling in. Quite a subtle effect. Again, I've spent ages faffing with it, and I think I overthought it. So now the beach, the yellow in the middle, just pretty much stays the same, and the light level affects the sky, which is at the top. Right, so we put this so we can see the top. And let's set the light level to minimum. And you can see we get mostly blue sky with just an occasional little cloud, which are sort of whitey coloured. And if we increase the light level to maximum, we get a lot more clouds, which come out a slightly purpley colour for some reason. Again, would you ever notice it? If it was just running in the corner, they've ever noticed the fact that it's changing? Yeah, maybe not. However, that's what we're going with. Okay, so here we have what I call the home fires, which is a sort of attempt to make something that looks a bit like a wood fire or a coal fire. Well, more a wood fire than a coal fire, I guess. And the light should increase the amount of yellowy colour, so it makes it look, the flames look hotter, and the movement, the PIR, affects the crackle effect, I've called it. It just makes the flames flicker faster. So let's have a look at the PIR, which is not triggering. There we go. So let's put the PIR, the movement, up to maximum by forcing it there. There you go, more flames than if we put the movement down to minimum. It's slower. Not sure it looks slow, but it is. Again, not sure you'd notice the effect unless you'd been told to look for it. And the light here is the brightness of the flames, and there is currently very little light because I've got the blind down. So if I put the light up to maximum, you can see you get a lot of a lot of really bright, almost white, slightly greeny, to be honest, looking flames. And again, to maximum you get some barely yellowy orange flames. So that's that one. Okay, so it's the last one we've actually written, which is the woodland. And here, increasing light makes more daylight, makes everything brighter, and movement, the PIR increases movement between the elements. So let's see how that behaves. Okay, let's look at the movement first, and we are going to just use our force it to where we want it. So you can see this, with the movement set to maximum, it's changing quite fast between the various colours. I mean, you basically get a blue one, a green one, or a orangey brown one, and it fades down and fades back up again. So if we put movement to minimum, it's a lot slower, and the light, so we're currently on maximum dim because it's dark in here because I've got the blind down for filming, and brighter, would you tell? Back down to minimum. Yeah, I don't know whether you'd tell unless you were really looking for it, but that is what we are going with. Okay, so that's the end of the ones I've actually written, and here I came up with some ideas for some others, but I'm kind of wanting to move this project on to a finish, to say, well, that's Mark 1, and we'll evaluate that, and maybe we'll improve it, maybe we'll start and do something different inspired by it, dunno. Anyway, I've decided we're going to do one more out of these, and I'm going to do what I've called a conversation, which will be some kind of moving display, mostly based on sound. As you can probably notice, I've not actually decided exactly what it's going to do, so I will just start throwing some code together, I think, and seeing what I can come up with. Okay, so I've made a start on this conversation thing, as it were, and as you can see, I've only got one colour going, so all the colours are going to work independently but in the same fashion. And you can see it's spiralling round the line of LEDs, and the direction, when it gets to the end, it sets off again, and the direction it chooses is random. And I've currently set up, for test purposes, the width of this, I don't know, chaser light would you call it, to the PIR. So if I take that to there, you can see you've got more LEDs on here, and if I take it up to the maximum, we've probably got more than half of the LEDs on. Okay, I will wind that down towards the minimum again, and the light input here is the speed. So that's currently at minimum. Let's set it to half. Yep. And set it again to maximum. Okay, set it back to half, and I've set the sound level again. I'm forcing it to brightness, so we have been running on full. Set it to half, and a bit dimmer. Getting these LEDs, and set it down there, and yeah, you can see it's quite dim. So now I am going to combine those three inputs to work all of the sound. So the louder the sound is, the shorter the width will be, the brighter the brightness will be, if you see what I mean, and the faster it'll go. Okay, so here we are. I've got all three colours going, and I've added a few little tricks so they're not running in sync with each other. And here I am, I'm talking, and you can see, yeah, it looks alright, quite an interesting effect. And now if I shut up and let it fall silent, we get a quite subtle pulsing effect, and it can go completely dark if the synchronization of the colors is together. Okay, so I have all the moods I want to do. Now I'm just going to go through again the transitions between the moods and see if I can improve or at least sign them off. Okay, so I've set it up so it changes between moods a lot quicker than it normally does, and I've also set it up so it is in fade mode all the time, as you will see here. Yep. And I looked at these transitions and thought, well, I was trying to make something of them, a feature, but yeah, not really. You won't see them and you won't understand what's happening. So I reduced the time of a transition to 1 second fixed, instead of letting it have a random time between, I don't know, like 2 and 4 seconds. And I've kept the 3 kinds of transitions, but because I've written them, so I don't want to take them out now. So here it's fixed in fade transition. And you can see on the display here on the monitor when it's actually transitioning, and see the transition on the actual thing on the mood light. So yeah, it's just got to change it without just a sudden abrupt change. So now I will do the second kind of change. Okay, now it's in strobe mode, which just changes the LEDs in a random sequence over the second, you'll see the effect. Huh. Alright, conversation mode. Yeah. Okay, now we are in what I call spiral, and it changes each LED like that, as you will see. There we go, and doesn't look that different from the strobe, I know. But it is what it is. And there's the old conversation mode. I quite like that one. Come on. There we go, one more. Okay then, here she is, back to normal operation, and I'm going to call it a day on this particular video here, and I'm going to say, well, that's the software right, I guess. I might tweak a couple of things, but nothing major, so I'm going to do one more video on this for now, and what happens in the future, I don't know. I might start on a new project with these multicoloured LEDs and sensors. It's quite fun to do and quite interesting, but I feel like this particular project has got about as far as it's going to go. So, as I say, one more video coming up, and in that video I will sort out the glass globe and somehow try and make it better, not blodgy and runny. And we'll see what we can do with that then. So that's it for this video. So for now, it's a goodbye from Triplicate. Goodbye.